Hello everybody, I am back, and believe it or not, it is Christmas card time. I cannot believe it's time for Christmas. It has snuck up on me. We have 4 days till Thanksgiving, but it is what it is, and it's time to start Christmas cards. So this year, because I don't have enough stamps, I decided I was gonna buy new. Probably didn't need them, but they're too cute. Look at these. Sunny's Studio. This is Mug Hugs. And then this is Holiday Style. These are all from Sunny Studio, obviously. And then this was Mary's Sentiments. This, it's its own set, but it's like an add-on set to this. So we're gonna make Christmas cards. I've got my card bases already cut out of craft cardstock. This is Stampin' Up! Paper for cards. I love Stampin' Up! Paper. It's nice and heavy. And this I also got this year. This is Simon Says Stamp. That's why I put that on there. And it's a 3D embossing folder. So I think I'm going to do the insides of the bases, and then we'll do a extra piece of paper with a sentiment foiled on the inside. So these are what we're gonna get started with, and I would like to see your Christmas cards. Place them down in the comments below. A picture of what you're working on this year. All right, so I am using Stampin' Up! Inks, some old, some new, Real Red, Blueberry Bushel, Daffodil Delight, and Emerald Envy. Some of these may have to be re-inked, I'm not sure. But what I'm gonna do is, these are 2-step stamps. So I have to have a light and a dark. So I have to get 4 more colors. And I will get all these stamped out on here so that we can cut them out. Because I do have the die for this. I didn't buy the die set for all of these, which kind of wishing I had, but I didn't. So we're gonna get some of these stamped out. I gotta pick some more colors. Sunny Studios, now I don't know if any other company is doing this, but the, whatever you call this, transfer sheet, whatever it is, they have taped the two together so they stay together, which is super nice, because I don't know how many times I have thrown away the protective acetate because it got lost amongst the muck while I was working. So yeah, I like that it's stuck together. So I'm gonna go old school with these. I think this block might be too big, but so I have 8 cards that I'm gonna do. So we're just gonna do them all together. So I have a lot of stamping. Lots and lots and lots of stamping. Boy, that's really dark. Hope my dark is dark enough. So I'm gonna stamp my little heart content and we'll be back. I sometimes forget that there could be new stampers watching this, so I guess I should explain things a little better. These are 2-step stamps, in case you didn't know. This is a super, super fun little set. I use this, and it's well loved, as you can see. Lawn Fawn little chamois. I keep it in this little shell. I don't know really what it is, but my mom got it for me because I'm a shell freak, so I keep that in there, so it works out. So I have all my bulbs stamped out. These were super fun, and they were actually pretty easy to line up. Of course, I didn't realize I wasn't lining these up quite right till about here. And then I realized, oh yeah, the tips of those were like that coppery color. So anyway, I'm afraid these might be a little too close. And after I got these on here, and I'm like, okay, I'm gonna be cutting these out. I'm not loving this die. How are you supposed to know that you have that lined up? You can't see through there. I like the little dies that, you know, so this should be fun. I might see if my Scan and Cut will pick these up, and it's gonna be a lot easier on me. So we'll see. I do love this machine. This makes cutting multiple items out so easy. All right, now we are just taking one of our blank bases, and this is also Stampin' Up! Paper, and these two colors that I have here, this is Rustic Wilderness and Twisted Citron, and we're just going to blend us some ink here around 3 of the sides. We're gonna kind of leave that top left corner blank. And as I'm blending away here, you are going to be able to see that it's not nice and smooth and pretty like, you know, some of them are. We're going to stamp over this. This is just to kind of fill the background. So it doesn't have to be perfect. These are, again, the El Cheapo Amazon brushes, but they work really well. I do like them. Alright, so here I just have an acrylic block, and we're taking one of our cards that we did our blending on, and we're using Garden Green and Emerald Envy. I'm using 2 different colors. And we are just going to take this branch and move it all around, put it in some different positioning, and stamp it out in both colors. So you can see all the green we put on there. It's kind of filling it in so that this looks like a close-up edge of a Christmas tree. Now, I got the idea for this card from the Sunny Studios website, and it wasn't this, but somewhat similar to this. Here's, oh, that's the wrong one. Here's my little lights that I stamped. I used my Brother Scan and Cut to cut out. Okay, so you see where I'm going with this. So I get to looking at these, and I'm picking, you see me picking through them because I have already fixed some of them, which you can see. Why does this look wrong? I sit and looked at it and looked at it. I could not for the life of me figure out why this looks so wrong. Then, took me a whole day, people, a whole day. And then I finally realized the lights are floating in the tree. These were C9 bulbs. I think you can still get these, but the ends were green. This is just floating bulbs. This is how the sample was. So I was like, oh yeah, that's so cute. But then after I got to going, I was like, why does this not look right? So I stopped. So I'm actually 2 days into doing these now. So I realized what the problem was, and this was my fix. I just drew on the cord. I tried to think of something I could actually physically run underneath there. I was going to do green wire, like floral wire, but it was going to end up being such a mess to deal with that. So this is going to be the front of our card. And right now that's what we're working on. I'm using candied apple, distress oxide, broken china, squeezed lemonade, and cracked pistachio. That's all off. I don't know how much of that you can see actually. And we are adding what would be the bright, like glow. It makes them look like they're glowing. You can see what I did there. And we're just using, these are the El Cheapo Amazon blending brushes that I'm using for this. I have these Amazon ones for my distress oxides, and then I have another set, my Tailored Expression set for my pigment inks, because you don't want to mix the two, and I am not cleaning them in between every one. So I'm just going through and adding that in there, letting these dry, and then we will show how we add our lights. All right, so here I have a Stampin' Write marker in Garden Green. And since I took all that time to do that stamping and realized I just needed green, we are taking our marker here and covering over the yellow stamping. So it looks like it's in the plug that it would have been screwed into. I thought these little bulbs were so cute. So we're adding our adhesive and sticking those down so it looks like the bulb is in our little shiny lights. Or I put our ink down. Our glow, that's what it was, our glow. I put these dimensionals on 2 of them, and then I just did the adhesive on the opposite 2, so every other one was standing up. I thought it just added a little something. So we get those all stuck in, and then we're going to take our marker to add in the cord. I just tried to go a little behind that piece so you didn't see the end of my marker line. I did, like I said earlier, I thought about putting in the floral wire, but then having to fold it over behind the cord or the card stock. It was going to leave, you're going to see it behind there because it's thicker, and the cord would be thicker in reality than that thin wire. So we just decided to use some marker. I also thought about using yarn, but this worked. All right, now we have the Heidi Mink toner ink. I am not gonna lie, this stuff was a hot mess, okay? I was so excited. Nancy McCabe had this on her channel, Foiling Snobs Club. I got so excited, hurried and ordered it. You know how it is when you get on there and see a new product, because I kept wanting to foil stamped images, and I was like, ooh, finally somebody's come up with the answer. I had to mess with I don't know how many different papers, and my Lavinia paper is the only paper I had that would actually work with this toner ink, because it is sticky, sticky, sticky. I'm talking sticky. It would tear the surface of the paper every time I stamp. So you see my pad is in pieces. That's because the little cup, you're supposed to fill it full and put that, or so many ounces, there's a line on there, and put it in the pad. Well, this ink dries and you have to throw the pad away. It's a one-use thing, and they're not cheap. But I had to find a way to stretch it, so I cut that baby into pieces. And I'm using the pipette here just to add a little bit of ink, because you don't need that much toner ink. And I'm telling you, you can't put a whole lot in there. You really got to play with it to figure out what really works. And you just barely touch that piece of pad to your stamp. And then you have to make sure you hold your paper to get the stamp to come up off of the paper, because it's so incredibly sticky. And it does work, which you will see. It stamps out nice. Now, there was a couple that had little missed places where I didn't get enough ink on there, the toner ink. And it was okay. I mean, you can see it was supposed to have been there. I wasn't super fussing with it. So, yes, the product works, but, you got to be willing to mess with it. Be willing to put the time in. So I just used Deco Foil. We ran that through the Mini Mink. And here are, and I'm sorry I went off camera. I didn't have enough leftovers, so we threw that away, and there was our images. I have my infinity dies here. So I just chose this one to do the outline. The stamp I used for this Merry Christmas is from the All Holidays set. This is a really old Stampin' Up! Set. It was on wood blocks, and I thought I'd show you. This is how I unmounted them and how I store them. I use this punch to cut these sentiments out. I love punches, but they just take up so much room. I don't purchase them anymore. I buy dies. But I kept all my old ones. I love them. All right, so we have all of our pieces here. We've got punched out and die cut out. We're starting to see some resemblance of a card. I am going to use my Evening Evergreen and this piece of sponge. It's from Stampin' Up! You can cut, it's a great big old piece of sponge, and I cut it into 8ths. So I can use it for different colors. We're just going to put some ink on there and kind of flick this onto the edge, just kind of darken it up. Makes it stand out a little bit more than it would have without it. Adds a little something something. And we would just follow through and do all the rest of them. Like magic, look at that, I did it. So I used dimensionals on these. Got our nice foily Merry Christmas on there. And of course, I gotta fuss, make sure it's in the middle. I hate pulling off all these little doodads, and then they're all over the floor. But you know, it is what it is. So I'm going to get out my adhesive. This is Snail Stampin' Up. It's my very last one. I gotta order more. I didn't realize how much Stampin' Up I use until I do these videos, and I'm constantly saying Stampin' Up, Stampin' Up. I have sold it twice. I do like the products. I just can't seem to sell enough of it to stay in, so they keep kicking me out. But I like the discount. So here we have our completed little Merry Christmas card. Isn't it cute? We gotta stamp the inside still. We're gonna stamp our envelopes, and we're gonna do some wax sealing. So here I think I am going to do this on a black. And you're gonna see that I'm gonna change my mind. I'm using this little set the stamps, or the bulbs was on. I do like the piece of acetate being attached. However, it does get to be a pain in the patootie. It gets in the way, but you know, fold it back, you cope. So here I decided, since I have 8 of these to do, make sure I got them lined up. I'm gonna get my Tim Holtz stamper out. What is this thing called? Platform stamper? I'm at a loss for words right now. So we're gonna get this lined up on here. And that's the nice thing about these platform. Is it, what the heck is this thing called? It's not a platform stamper. It's Tim Holtz's version of the Misty. What the heck is this? Oh, good night. I hate it when I can't think of what things are called. Anyway, y'all know. The nice thing about these is if you got multiples to do, you know it's going to be in the same spot. But in this case, I'm using 4 different stamps. So the grid on there is super nice to get them all lined up. And you don't have to worry about it. You know it's going to be right. And my grid paper that the card is sitting on, that is double-sided sticky. But for what I was doing, the paper's so big I didn't really need it. But it is nice if you have smaller pieces of paper, you can line it up in the corner and it will stick. It's actually a little too sticky when you first start, depending on the paper you're using. So you just stick it on your pants. It'll pick up enough lint that it's not as sticky. But I keep the acetate on it to keep dust from settling on it. But even once it gets to where it's not sticky enough, you can just use a little bit of Dawn soap, wash it off real easy, let it air dry, and voila, it will stick again. So I'm finally done fussing with the stamps, and we are adding our ink. Line it up in the corner, and ta-da! Stamping magic. I should have used my eraser, rub over that, but I did after this first one. There we go. May your Christmas be merry and bright. This come from the Wishes and Wander stamp set. Stampin' Up again. That is the stamp we are going to use from for the envelope. We're going to put these on the front. I figured I'd go ahead and get these done while I had this out. We're going to do this in red since everything is so green inside. I'm using real red. Stampin' Up. My goodness, I have the green all over my fingers. I'm a hot mess. Ink it up, stamp it on. I'm not sure if I told you where the sticky mat came from. I got that on Amazon. I think it came in a 2-pack. I cut it down to fit on here. And there was our envelope. Now, the back of the envelope, I decided to wax seal. I love wax sealing. So I am going to show you at this angle. But it is just oddly satisfying to watch the wax melt and drip. So after I get this done, I actually change the camera view so you can watch it run and drip. I don't know, I think I could wax seal all day. So how many of you have managed getting Christmas cards going? This is like the earliest I think I've ever got my Christmas cards going. I'm usually a last minute Christmas carder and get them mailed out the week before. So I'm pretty proud of myself. I'm doing pretty good this year. And it's not like I do 20 or 30. Here I'm trying to set the paper on fire. Not a good idea. I was struggling to keep that. I think I trimmed the wick on this one just a little too short. But it works. And there is, it's holly if you can't really make that out. So here I flip the camera. And I will just let you enjoy watching the process. If you enjoyed my video, hit like and subscribe. Some of my subscribers are telling me that they're not getting notified when I'm uploading anymore. So I would appreciate the likes. If you enjoyed my video, subscribe, and we will see you next time. Thanks for watching.